Welcome to the 10-Minute Car Sales Talk Podcast, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is, here's the man with the plan, Harry Cameron.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the 10-Minute Car Sales Talk Podcast. I believe this is episode number 28. 28 so far. Man, time flies when you're having fun. I need to tell you that every week my downloads and plays are growing, and I really appreciate you guys listening. But I'd appreciate it even more if you'd hop over to iTunes and write a review and give me a rating. It just lets me know that I'm doing something right with you or for you. The other thing is if you can hop over to my website, 10minutecarsalestalk.com or 10minutesalestalk.com, either one, hit that free trial button for Game Show Presenter Gold. Try it in your training class or your training sessions for free. And if you like it, I've arranged for a 10% discount for all of my listeners. Just tell them I sent you. This week we're going to talk about losing money on a car deal. Now this is a touchy subject in the dealership, and it has a different meaning for different people in the dealership, from your GM on down to the salesperson. It also depends on what time of the month or week that we're in and how long we've actually had the vehicle in stock, on how much money we're willing to lose. Now, managers are going to like to listen to this, and salespeople, you really need to listen to this and understand just what your sales manager is going through when they're making a decision whether or not to do a deal or not, based on profit or lack of profit. But let's start with the dealer. Put yourself in his or her shoes. How often would you go out and invest $30,000 to lose $500? Just doesn't make sense when you think about it. If you're going to invest $30,000, you're probably going to want a little bit more than $30,000 when you sell it. In the retail business, that's how we make our money. We buy it wholesale, sell it retail. Or we buy it wholesale and sell it somewhere above wholesale. It has to make money. And for those of you that don't get paid commission on a deal, you're wrong. You do get paid commission. If there's no profit in the deal, you can't get paid your salary and bonuses. So commission or gross profit means a whole lot. So if it's the dealer, I'm sure the dealer's looking at it saying, no way, I do not want to lose money selling this car. But when is it good to do that? When does it make sense to go ahead and pull the trigger on a deal that's losing money? So we talked a little bit about the dealer and the general manager's position. Rarely does it make sense for them. I think on a new car deal, there is a point, though, that it does make sense for them. And that's when you're on a targeted bonus. In other words, if you have to sell a certain number of new cars to hit a bonus. And a lot of times that's a substantial bonus. So it may make sense to lose some money, say $500, $600, $700 on a car deal, to make $750 at the end of the month on the bonus money. Problem is, if we lose the money early on and we don't hit that bonus, or we don't hit that level, that number, and we don't get the bonus, well, then it definitely wasn't a good idea to lose money on the deal. Salespeople, they tend to push management to go ahead and pull the trigger on these deals because that's what they get paid for. Now, from a general sales manager and sales manager's point of view, they are really looking at the whole picture. They're on the front line with you. So they know the number that they have to hit. If they don't hit that number and there is no bonus, well, that affects their paycheck. And it could affect their employment. Back when I first started selling cars, there was $2,500, $3,000 markup on a $30,000 car, and then you had another $2,500, $3,000 in rebate. Well, those days are gone. Depending upon what manufacturer you work for and what brand you sell, there may be as little as $400 or $500 in a $30,000 car. $400 or $500 markup. So what's that mean we have to do? We have to build value, sell the car for MSRP, and of course hold on trade. And while we're talking about this, if there's people listening to this podcast that are not in the car business, they just want to buy a car, they need to understand this also, that you cannot negotiate like you used to. There's just not that much room to work with. I had a really, really wise man tell me once that anybody can make a decision, but not everybody can make a good decision. And this is where a good sales manager and general sales manager come into play. You have to kind of juggle the balls around a little bit to make sure what you're doing makes sense. You need to know your dealer's philosophy. You need to know that is it okay to lose money? And what I mean about losing money, for some people they think that losing money is selling it for less than we paid for, less than invoice. That all depends on the way you look at it. You can, if in my case, if we can net out the deal and still break even, yeah, that probably is something that we're going to want to do. But some dealers say, no, I'm not going to negotiate my holdback. I'm not going to negotiate any of my pack. We are going to work with invoice, and if it loses money or what we originally paid for, the pre-owned vehicle, and loses money, then I'm good for $500. That's it. Again, this is where a sales manager, a good sales manager and general sales manager come into play. They need to know where they're at in the month, where they're at in their number, whether or not they're going to hit their bonus, not just their bonus, the dealership's bonus. I always believe that if I take care of the dealership is going to take care of me. Again, a good sales manager and a good general sales manager look at it from that point of view. Another reason we may want to lose money, it may be a morale builder. It might be the start of a Saturday and we have a big run, or we want to start a big run to the end of the month to hit our number. It may be a morale builder for a particular salesperson that's working his or her tail off to sell a car and things just aren't falling their way. So that might make sense. If this is a good salesperson, they're working really hard. They've done everything we possibly can, but for finance reasons, the bank may ask for a fee. They may be a little upside down in their trade, but we worked our tail off. Sales manager, general sales manager may just go ahead and say, you know what, it's time to go ahead and sell this car. What if the car's just had a birthday? It's had 365 days sitting on your lot. A lot of dealerships think that that's the one that we can lose the money on, and it's got to go. Well, I know other people that say that one's the one that cost me the most money. I have to make money on that car. So again, you need to know your dealer and general manager's philosophy on how to deal with aged units. What if it's a locate? I always say it's sometimes okay to lose money selling something from our inventory, but it makes absolutely terrible business sense to lose money selling somebody else's inventory. Again, that all depends on where you're at in the month and if you need that one to hit the bonus. When I talk about bonus money, let's say the car that you sell, if you hit your bonus money, gives you $1,000 for each one of those models. And you're going to lose $1,800 if you locate this vehicle and sell it to a customer. Is it going to make sense to sell that? Well, it might be. At the end of the month, if you had 10 of those cars, well, then it might have made sense. Touchy subject. If you don't hit that bonus, did it make sense after all? Salespeople, I know you think that the car has to go. You worked your tail off. It's not your fault that the bank didn't give 120% or 130% LTV, and you really want to sell the car. Put yourself in the dealer's position. There's probably more times than you know about that they actually sold something for less than they really wanted to make sure you got paid. If you take care of the dealership and you build the value and you do your job, you prospect, you follow up, you do a great delivery, you're going to sell cars that lose money sometimes. But if you're one of those special ones that are doing your job 100% of the time with 100% of the people, then you're going to make money for the dealership. And that's when they can maybe bend a little bit for you. So again, let's look at what we talked about from the very beginning. Does it make sense to lose money selling a car? Yes, it does. And no, it doesn't. It all depends on the situation. And if you have a good sales manager and a good general sales manager, that understands the philosophy of the dealership, they know the DNA of the dealership, and they make decisions based on the success of the dealership, then you're one step ahead of everybody else. And you have to give credit where credit is due. Again, anybody can make a decision, but not everybody can make a good decision. Remember, guys, hop on over to iTunes, give me that rating, that review. Go to my website, the 10minutecarssalestalk.com website. Hit me up with an email. And don't forget to hit that free trial button for Game Show Presenter Gold. Remember, the sky's the limit. I'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to this week's podcast. Please rate it on iTunes and visit the 10minutesalestalk.com website to send an email. We appreciate your valuable feedback, and don't forget to share the show with a friend.
Trainers, managers, and teachers, are you looking for a way to add fun to your training while keeping 100% of the focus of your class? I can help you because I discovered a tool that is attention magic. I've been using this tool for over 7 years and it's always a hit. I'm talking about Game Show Presenter Gold software. The amazing thing is that it makes it fun for people to pay attention, and people do pay attention to something that's challenging, competitive, and fun. Here's how it works. Game Show Presenter is a multimedia template. You just choose one of the built-in game show formats, then customize it with questions and answers about your topic, and your game is ready to play. The software handles the music, graphics, and scorekeeping. Game Show Presenter works with almost any audience, but for training salespeople, it's a blast because their competitive nature kicks in and they get a chance to show what they know and sometimes embarrass themselves a bit for what they don't know. Either way, the game makes for a memorable experience. I have a link to the Game Show Presenter software on my website, so come check it out. I've arranged for my listeners to get a 10% discount off the $99 one-time price. So be sure to use the buy link on my page, 10minutesalestalk.com. Game Show Presenter Gold. It'll transform your next training session like magic.